What ho chaps, I'm Magical Mike, you can follow me on Twitter at YTMagicalMike, and this is a guide, kind of, to Act 1 of the Guild Wars 2 Halloween event. At least, I think it's Act 1. First of all, you want to go to Lion's Arch, and you'll see this huge orange circly thingy, and you'll want to talk to the Azura in the bottom part of it, and you'll get a mail where you get this thing, and you get this personalised trick-or-treat bag, which will give you some item and hopefully a piece of candy corn. If it doesn't, then it's bugged out and you should probably go and find some candy corn elsewhere, which you can do. I will explain that in a bit. But you get this candy corn, you get one of them, a candy corn powered matter meter, I think. Anyway, you're going to want to do what she said to do, and I forgot to record that bit, but just do what she said, just use it on the ghost that stood next to her. Hopefully there's not too many people, and that thing will give you an item which you'll be able to read. One of these things which will tell you where to go to find this one that I just got, which you will find in the Lion's Arch sewers. Now this next one tells you that at Site 3, say more now and look more where Kryta's descendants are buried. See, say more, Shaymore. Yeah, see what it did there? Very clever. Interesting. So go to Shaymore, go to Queensdale, and there's a graveyard. But on your way, you'll find this piece of candy corn that you can mine, because that's how candy corn's made. Right? Kind of? I don't know. Anyway, you'll come to the graveyard, and you'll find all this stinky looking stuff, and basically I have no idea how this thing actually works, but you've got 4 charges on it whenever you get it out. 4 charges per piece of candy corn, so it's fine, don't worry about it. So just, you can pretty much spam these skills whatever you want, wherever you want. And once you come in here, you might notice this suspicious location on top of this grave. You want to jump up and activate it, hopefully not get burned to death, while my character rolls around on the floor trying to put out an invisible fire, and that misty ghost thing will run off. Chase it, because it leads you to the next location. You don't need to talk to this guy, I just did because I was wondering what the hell I needed to do. I gimped around for a bit, and then the guy spawned after spamming my skills a bit more. You want to talk to him, you get some more backstory of what Mad King Thorn's done in the past. He's not a nice fellow, but I'm sure we'll find that out much later. And you get the next book. You'll notice that that is book 4, and that it tells me Site 2, search the dead streets and forgotten something of Lion's Arch, forgotten thoroughfares of another Lion's Arch. So, I actually missed a book here. If I'd have read the first book properly, or the second book, I don't know. Actually tells you to go to Lion's Arch again. And the only other Lion's Arch we know is the one from Guild Wars 1, which is now underwater here, so you want to be swimming around in Sanctum Harbour and looking for stuff there. And you can use this device thing underwater too. If you go to the fountain, you'll actually find that you can interact with some weird things here. See these suspicious locations? You want to interact with those things and you get some personalised trick-or-treat bags, get some candy corns and all sorts of things there. But they go away quite quickly, and this quagga likes to stand on top of them. On top of the fountain is actually another suspicious location which will trigger those 4 spouts of water to get your bags out of them. There's also 2 in the lions there. You can click them multiple times and you'll get quite a few bags out of them. Good. But you'll find the ghost itself, or herself, or itself, whatever, inside of a ruined building in this rock thing. You'll see on my map there, you can just barely see where I am. You just want to swim into the top of that bit of ruin there and you'll find the ghost. Again, spam your skills on the device, because I don't know how the hell it works. And this one tells you to go to some tomb. It's actually marked on the map. It's in the north of the Gandharan fields. So this is a level 25-ish area, I think. Something like that. Level 33, I'm down level 2 here, so want to be about there. At the start of the tomb in the north, you will actually find the misty ghost thing, and it'll run off in here, and it'll lead you straight to these coffins. That one will spawn a bunch of skeletons, which will give you some nice drops. And there's a set over there where those guys are stood. You can also interact with those, but I don't know actually what causes you to be able to. And that'll give you a whole bunch of trick-or-treat bags. Good stuff. Next off, you want to continue through the dungeon, beat this champion spider. Hopefully you've got a group of people with you. If you don't, then you're going to struggle. Get a chest. Obviously the door won't be open unless you've put the boulders on the pressure pads earlier in the dungeon, so make sure to do that. And then you'll find this ghost spawns in the corner here. Very well hidden. This is actually a pain in the arse for me to find. I think I spent 5 minutes in this one room just looking for where he must be. This guy gives you book 6. I think that's book 6. Yes, I'm going to look very stupid if that wasn't, but it is. Book 6 gives you the clues to Site 3 and Site 2, which we've already seen, but one of the previous books actually gives us the clue to go to here, which is in Kessex Hills in the very northeast part of there. You can actually go from the Gandara Fields straight into this area. Pretty good. Nice and easy to get here. There's some suspicious locations to look for. Bear in mind, remember where the island is on the map, that little hill that I climbed up a minute ago, because we're going to be going back there. But there's some suspicious locations to have a look at here. So we've got that one that spawned a skeleton in the coffin. We've got one on the roof here that you can see me doing. I don't know what this one does, but it's there, so it might do something. I didn't actually get to see what this one did. And there's this one over here which has a whole bunch of trick-or-treat bags for you. Just keep spamming that F button. And there you go, there's 4 there. Good stuff. And hopefully, yes, in the corner there, there's this weird wall, and actually in the eye of that mural, there's another suspicious location which I think spawns these candy corn guys, which can drop those skulls, and there's some other weird items that you can get from this event, which is interesting. And I don't know what they do yet, but, you know, we'll find out eventually. But the ghost itself is actually on the island that I told you to remember. It's not very far away. In fact, it's like 2 steps away. You can see where we are on the map. And then after you've got that, I realised I had all 6 books, and I was wondering if I was done. So I read my mail again, and yes, we're missing 6 stories, which I can count there with my mouse, like a boss. So there we go, we're done. Go back to Lion's Arch and talk to the NPC that you talked to trigger this thing, and hand the quest in. It's almost like a traditional quest, who knew? And then you get this mail, which I'm going to read through, but I'm going to skip that, cut all that out, and you get this item. I would suggest holding on to this thing, because we don't know what it's going to do, but one would presume that it will give you access to the next bits, the next acts in the chain. Also, weirdly enough, it's a back piece, which is interesting, and you can actually see it there, modelled nicely by my necromancer. It's an interesting book. The stats are obviously terrible because it doesn't have a level requirement, but I find that interesting that it's a unique skin there. So there you go, there's Act 1. There's some interesting stuff going on in this Halloween. It's overwhelming, don't be too overwhelmed by it. Take it one step at a time, do one thing at once, try not to do too many things, and most of all, have fun. That's the most important thing. And I will see you guys next time. Toodaloo.